Hi guys, my name is Matti Sulanto, and in this video I'm gonna give you 5 good reasons why I think the Lumix G9 is one of the greatest cameras. But before I continue with the G9, please consider subscribing to my channel and tap the bell icon right there so you'll get notified whenever I post a new video. If you've been following this channel, you know already that I love the Lumix G9. But in this video I'm gonna give you 5 reasons why I love it so much, why I think it's such a great camera. But first a disclaimer, I'm a Lumix ambassador, but I'm not getting paid by Panasonic for making these videos, and I decide what I publish here in this channel. I make these videos only to share my experiences with you guys. The Panasonic Lumix G9 was introduced in January 2018. So when I'm recording this, it's just over a year and a half old model. It's Panasonic flagship model for stills for photography in Micro Four Thirds system. I've said it many times here on this channel in these videos that I like this. I think it's one of the best Micro Four Thirds cameras, and here are my five reasons why I think so. Number 1 is the size and the weight. This is of course highly subjective, but at least in my hand this fits perfectly. It's small enough to be convenient to carry around almost anytime, anywhere, but it's also big enough to allow me to get a good grip on it. This camera is also weather sealed, which is very important for me as a professional photographer, because I have to be able to finish my job even in hard conditions. And the second reason is the ergonomics. First of all, this camera has 3 proper control dials. Front dial, rear dial, and then a back dial here on back of the camera. I have the aperture on the front dial, shutter speed on the rear dial, and the ISO on the back dial. And I have a full control over all 3 exposure values, even if I'm on manual exposure mode. Then there is the small screen on top of the camera, which allows me to see all the necessary information, even if the screen is tucked away like this. And I like it like this because I don't chimp a lot, and the camera is so much more discreet when the screen is turned away like this. And then there is the joystick to move the autofocus point around, which is really nice, and also allows me to have the screen like this, because then I don't need the touch function to move the autofocus point around if I'm shooting through the viewfinder. And then I have 2 card slots, both UHS-2 standard, equally fast with a fast card. And then on the other side of the camera I have USB charge and power, which is very nice and convenient, especially when traveling. You don't need a charger, and if you are making a long time lapse or something, you can power the camera via USB and don't have to worry about the power running out in the middle of the long time lapse. And the third reason is the excellent viewfinder. It has 3.68 million dots, it's large, and it has 120 frames per second refresh rate. A good viewfinder is very important because that's the way you see the pictures before you take them. That's what you use to visualize the image that you are about to take. And even though today there are better viewfinders than this, for example on the Lumix S series cameras, but still this offers very nice and real-life-like viewfinder experience. And the fourth reason is the high-res mode. It allows you to make 80 megapixel high-res files on this camera. It uses the image stabilizer mechanism to move the sensor over 8 times, and multiplies the pixel count by 4 compared to the original 20 megapixels. Of course, if you need high megapixel count all the time, this is not the solution. It's better to get, for example, the Lumix S1R, but if you occasionally need high megapixel picture, then this is the right answer. And the quality of the high-res file is pretty good. I made a comparison with the Lumix S1R. There's a link up there if you're interested. So it's a useful feature for occasional high-res needs. And the fifth reason is the excellent image stabilizer. The body only offers 5.5 stops of stabilization, but if I mount a stabilized lens on this camera body, the dual IS offers me up to 6.5 stops of stabilization. The dual image stabilizer is an excellent system. It can take advantage of the lens's optical stabilizer and the camera body's stabilizer and combine those. The optical stabilizer in the lens has certain advantages over the in-body stabilizer and vice versa, but the dual IS can take the best parts of both and combine those. And that makes the system so great. Of course, the longest possible exposure time depends a lot on the user, the photographer, but still any stabilizer can offer you a lot of flexibility no matter how you think about it. I can get easily about 1 second exposure times on this camera, but your performance may be different. So there you have it, my 5 reasons why I think this is still one of the best cameras even though it's not the newest camera. And just because it's not the newest camera, it's a pretty good value for money right now. The price seems to be around 1,300 dollars at the time I'm recording this. And I think it's a pretty good price for a camera like this. I hope this video was helpful. Thanks so much for watching. But before you go, you may want to take a look at these 2 videos. And I'll see you next time.